Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shwapadantikam Vande Ham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Harite Vancha Kalpatarudhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangungam Kayate Girim Jat Kripa Tam Aham Vande Sri Gurun Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vande Nandhadbhuta Ishwaram Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ichopi Yat Prasadat Shad Bhakti Shastra Pravart Hare Krishna. Okay. So welcome back everybody to our Bhakti Shastri class on Sri Isopanisad. So in the previous class, we have discussed about the Isavasya principle, that we accept only our quota and we should not be greedy, Magrida Akasya Shvidanam. And we discussed also about the art of living. One can aspire to live for 100 years, hundreds of years, if he completely understand the Isavasya principles and live according to that principle. So he can live anywhere he wants, as long as he wants in the material world, no problem, because he is completely free from bondage. Srila Prabhupada talks about the Bhagavat, Bhagavat communism. So everything is belong to Krishna. It's called Bhagavat communism. And also we talk about the destination of the Atmaha, the killer of the soul. So they will be degraded to the demoniac species of life. Those who are unclean, uncivilized. So the materialistic people are called the Atmaha, the killer of the soul, because they don't give the opportunity to their own self when they're getting the human form of life to advance in Krishna consciousness. And we can say as byproduct of that, we can get liberation from material bondage. Okay, so on that base, we shall continue our discussion today. Hopefully we can cover mantra number 4 till 8. Let's see how much we can proceed. All right. So mantra 4 to 8, the topic is that the vision of the Mahabhagavat. So in mantra 4 explains why such people are unable to understand the Lord's position. He is beyond material calculation and is thus known only when he reveals himself. Mantra 5 continues this discussion, describing that the Lord has inconceivable potencies which render him unknowable to those whom he does not favor. And then mantra 6 describes the vision of one who can see Krishna everywhere, the Mahabhagavata. Mantra 7 continues describing the consciousness of the Mahabhagavata, which was introduced in mantra 6. And mantra 8 describes some qualities of the Lord as he is known by the Mahabhagavata as described in mantras 6 and 7. Okay. So in mantra 4, the supremely independent, the Supreme Lord is unsurpassable in all respects. So because Krishna is beyond this material concept, therefore those who still on the material platform cannot understand Krishna. So this is the mantra. Ane jadekam manaso javiyo nainat deva apnuvam purvam arshad tadhavato nyat atyeti tistat tasmin apomattarishva dadati. Translation. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him, although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain. He surpasses all in excellence. Yeah. So this topic, first of all, we have to understand that in order to understand Krishna, it is not sufficient only by having so-called intelligence or studying the Vedas. So in order to understand Krishna, we need his favor. So there are two things here. First is our effort, and then secondly is Krishna's favor. But of course, Krishna's favor is actually the main factor by which he can reveal himself. Yeah, Krishna mentioned in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samavrita mudhoyam nabijanati loko mamajam ayayam. So Krishna says that Naham prakasa sarvasya, I don't reveal myself to everybody. So Krishna, he has the right, he preserves the right of not disclosing himself. Only to those whom he favors, he will reveal himself. Yeah. Mudhoyam na vijanati loko mamajam ayayam. Of course, the description of the non-devotees. For the non-devotees, of course, naturally, Krishna will not favor them. Although Krishna is everybody's father. Yeah. He is the Bija Pradapita. He is the seed-giving father. But to the devotees, Krishna is much more inclined. Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedvesho stina priya. Krishna says that nobody is dear to me, nor do I hate anybody. That means he is equal. But ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayititesu chapyam. But for those who are worshipping me, ye bhajanti, worshipping Krishna, tumam bhaktya, and becoming my devotee. Mayitetesu chapyaham. I put special attention to those souls. So when Krishna favors the living entity who, of course, by surrendering to him, Krishna will favor the living entity, then only Krishna can be understood. Krishna can be understood in that way. So only through devotional service. So this statement is mentioned here that although fixed in his abode, personality of Godhead swifter than the mind. So it seems that Krishna remained in his abode, but at the same time he can go also very fast, overcome all others running. Yeah. We'll see what Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his purport. Through mental speculation, even the greatest philosopher cannot know the Supreme Lord, who is the absolute personality of Godhead. He can be known only by his devotees through his mercy. In the Brahma-Samhita 5.34, it is stated that even if a non-devotee philosopher travels through space and at the speed of wind or the mind for hundreds of millions of years, he will still find that the absolute truth is far, far away from him. We see in the pastime of the Lord, when the Lord was chased by, who's that? That demon who attacked Mathura for 17 times, and then finally Krishna shifted to Dwaraka. Jarasandha, yeah, when the Lord was chased by Jarasandha. So when he came to Dwaraka, actually when Jarasandha came to Dwaraka, so Krishna decided to run. Krishna decided to run, and therefore he is known as Makanchor, one who is ran away from the battle. And we see that Jarasandha was running in full speed, and Krishna was, walking slowly. Yet during this time, the distance between Lord Krishna and Jarasandha remained the same. So Jarasandha was putting so much effort, because the principle is here given that for the non-devotees, it is impossible to approach Krishna. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada quoted verse from the Brahma-Samhita, 5.34, Pantastu koti satavatsara sampragamyo vayoratapi manaso munipungavanam. So manaso, in the speed of mind. Can you imagine the speed of mind? Now our mind will think of something, and then in the next second, the mind will jump to another object. So the mind can go to America now within a second, boom. But even up to that speed, Pantastu koti satavatsara sampragamyo. Vayor means wind, the speed of wind and the speed of mind. Vayoratapi manaso munipungavanam. So the great munis, still they cannot catch Krishna's lotus feet. So pyastyat prapada simnya vichintya tatva. So achintya means unconquerable. Unconquerable. So cannot conquer Krishna using our material, so-called material power. And we see also Srila Prabhupada here, he's quoting another verse from Brahma-Samhita. Yeah. The Brahma-Samhita 5.37 further describes that the absolute personality of Godhead has his transcendental abode, known as Goloka, where he remains and engages in his pastimes. Yet by his inconceivable potency, he can simultaneously reach every part of his creation, of his creative energy. So what is that verse in the Brahma-Samhita? Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavita vista virya eva nijarupataya kalabis. So Goloka eva nivasatya kila atma bhuto govindamani purusham tamaham bhajam. So Goloka eva nivasatya kila atma bhuto. He remained in his eternal spiritual abode, Goloka Vrindavan. But within a second, if he wants, he can come here within a second. So for the non-devotees, this is completely bewildering. Yeah, although his energies are innumerable, they can be divided into three principal categories: the internal potency, the marginal potency, and the external potency. So lesser living beings, including humans, also belong to the Lord's marginal potency, or this is called the Tatastha Sakti. So the living entities are called Tatastha Sakti, or the marginal potency of the Lord. And then material world is the creation of the Lord's external potencies, Bahiranga Sakti. And the spiritual sky, where the kingdom of God is situated, is the manifestation of his internal potency. So Antaranga Sakti is the spiritual world, spiritual energy. All power is obtained from the Lord. Therefore, each particular power must be utilized to execute the will of the Lord, and not otherwise. The Lord can be known by one who has adopted such a submissive service attitude. Perfect knowledge means knowing the Lord in all his features, knowing his potencies, and knowing how these potencies work by his will. These matters are described by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of the Upanishad. So if we analyze here Srila Prabhupada's purport, he mentioned here, perfect knowledge means knowing the Lord in his all features. So what features here refers to? The three features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Vadantitas Tatpavidam Tatvam Yajnanamadayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti sabhyati. So complete knowledge means we completely know these three features in full. Yeah, not partial like the Mayavadis or the yogis. So the bhaktas, they completely in knowledge of these features of the Lord. And of course, the Bhagavan features is the topmost, yeah, among the three. Bhagavan features is topmost. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned here that knowing his potencies and knowing how these potencies work by his will. So in the Bhagavad Gita, where does this uh, statement is supported in the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody would like to contribute on this? Where it is mentioned that Krishna's potencies unlimited, and then knowing that this potency work by his will. Anybody would like to contribute in that? Hare Krishna. Any of the Pandit here? Let's call upon Kumudaksa Prabhu from Cambodia. Let's hear. Or who else?
I don't know yet, Prabhu. I don't know yet. Which
or who else here? Maybe Chaturatma Prabhu would like to say, where it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita regarding the Lord's potencies, that his potency is unimaginable. Yeah. Or Swarup Siddhi Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I will try, Prabhu. Maybe that may be related or not. One is Maya Jakshena Prakriti, and another one is like Ekam Shena Stito Jagat.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Slightly relevant, one more thing will be Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Which is not exactly directly relevant, but that shows that the potency, how much Krishna is supreme like that. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. So this Ekam Shena Stito Jagat, where Krishna mentioned that all this material creation, it just a little spark of my energy. Yeah, Ekam means just one little spark. And yes, of course, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, that refers to everything comes from Krishna. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, everything comes from Krishna. And also Mata Parataram Nanyat, there is no superior truth beyond Krishna. Everything is, under Krishna's potency, everything is related to Krishna, just like pearls strung in a string. Yeah. And what you said, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti, yeah, that verse also very appropriate. Yeah, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Chara Chara Etu Nanena Kuntya Jagad Viparivartati. So everything is moved under Krishna's direction. Of course, in 9th chapter, we find a lot like Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagadavyaktamurtina. So that's very nice. So yeah, all these matters are described by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all ones. So for the non-devotees, it's impossible to understand this because we can understand Krishna when Krishna favors us. So that's the point of this mantra. Okay, Srila Prabhupada in his lecture mentioned, we cannot compare that Krishna's body and my body, this body, material, is the same. That is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita. Awa janantima mudha. Those who are fools, rascals, they deride at me, thinking me as ordinary human being. Just like there are atheist class, Mayavadi class, they think that they are as good as Krishna. Such foolish proposition, our Krishna book will explain that we don't accept Krishna so cheaply. He has given evidences by his activities that he is supreme personality of Godhead, beginning from his birth, his appearance. Yeah. So his appearance is completely different as how the ordinary living entity is born in the material world. Yeah. the human, the ordinary living entity, when they take birth, so they immediately cry, the body smear with stools and so on. But when Krishna appeared, he was completely decorated with, Kaustubha money and with helmet, with four-handed, equipped with Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, with yellow silk dhoti. So like this, it's completely different. So his Janma is actually transcendental, Divyam. Yeah, therefore Krishna mentioned Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So his birth, his activities, completely transcendental. Prabhupada continue, if you have got still any desire that I shall enjoy this material world, at the same time I shall have personal touch with God, then it will be difficult. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. One has to be freed from all material contamination. Tatparatvena nirmalam. One has to become purified in Krishna consciousness. That purification process is devotional service. The more you become purified, more you realize God. So this is the key here. The more we become purified, the more opportunity to understand Krishna is open. Yeah, because ye yathamam prapayante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. Come back to that principle again. That as much as we surrender to Krishna, so Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. Yeah. So like that. So the point of this mantra is that for the non-devotees, it is not possible to understand Krishna, because Krishna will reveal himself only to those whom he favors. Yeah, and how to get that favor? Of course, by performance of devotional service. Bhaktya tu ananyaya sakya. But ananya means unalloyed, uncontaminated by any tinge of material desire. Anya abhilashita sunyam. Okay, so that's the end of mantra 4. Move to mantra number 5. Before moving to mantra number 5, whether any question or comments? Okay. Shall continue in mantra 5. Continues this discussion describing that the Lord has inconceivable potencies which render him unknowable to those whom he does not favor. Yeah, the inconceivable Lord, contradictory qualities of the Lord. This verse is very interesting. Krishna loves to be contradicted. In the Bhagavad Gita, he mentions, surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityaja mamaikam saranam vraja. Be straightforward. Surrender to Krishna. But if we are using our poor fund of knowledge to analyze Krishna's pastimes, we'll become completely bewildered. So Krishna's pastimes, especially in Vrindavan, he's completely mischievous. Yeah, he's very naughty, mischievous, stealing butter, stealing the gopis' dress. This is completely immoral. But when he speaks Bhagavad Gita, he says that Yasastra vidim utsija vartati kama karata nasa siddhim apnoti nasukam na parambara. So you have to follow Sastra. Yasastra vidhi. Vidhi means rules and regulation. We have to follow Sastra. Vartati kama karata. And should not act according to our own whims. But Krishna, what he does? He's stealing the butter. This is immoral, right? This is breaking the rules. But yeah, that's how shows actually Krishna is completely independent, and he is untouched by the laws of material nature, just like the leaf of lotus flower cannot touch by water. So that's Krishna. All right, mantra number 5. Tad ejati tannai jati tad dure tadvantike tad antar asya sharvasya tadu sharvasya bhahyataha. Translation: the Supreme Lord walks and he does not walk. He is far away, but he is near as well. He is within everything, yet he is outside everything. So this verse is full of contradiction. Yeah, describing about Lord Krishna in full contradiction. So like tade jati tad nai jati. So he walks, but he doesn't walk. Yes, as we discussed, that this verse is actually continuation of text number 4, that uh, the Lord is walking in the sense of he's completely he always moving. Yeah, he's always moving, but he does not walk. Goloka ewani wasatya kilat mabuto. He remains in his abode, so he doesn't go anywhere. But at the same time, he is everywhere. How we understand this? He remained in his abode, okay? But at the same time, he is everywhere, including in the material world. It's far, right? Tadure tadwantike. Tadure, he's far away, but he's also close. Okay, he's far away. He remained in his spiritual, in his abode, Goloka Vrindavan. But Tadawantike, he is very near as the Paramatma, as the Antaryami. Antaryami means he enters into all of his creations. And then what is mentioned here? He is within everything, and yet he is outside everything. Bahir means outside. Antar means inside. Srila Prabhupada writes, here is a description of some of the Supreme Lord's transcendental activities, executed by his inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He walks and he does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is logical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, such contradiction simply serves to indicate his inconceivable power. With our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. Prabhupada continue, we should not take it for granted that because we cannot see God with our eyes, the Lord has no personal existence. So Srila Prabhupada is discussing about whether the Lord is nirguna or sadguna, whether the Lord is without form or with form. Sri Isopanisad refutes these arguments by declaring that the Lord is far away but very near also. The abode of the Lord is beyond the material sky, and we have no means to measure even this material sky. But despite the Lord's being so far away, he can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with a speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. He can also run so swiftly that no one can surpass him. This has already been described in the previous mantra. Yeah, that verse, Pantastukoti Satavatsara Sampagami, that verse described that Krishna can compete with anybody. He can defeat anybody, even those who can run in the speed of mind, like the great yogi. In his lecture, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, therefore it is said here that the Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He does not go from his abode. He is fully enjoying. But at the same time, everywhere he is walking, just like we offer foodstuff. So do not think that Lord Krishna is not accepting. Krishna is accepting because he can spread his hand immediately if you offer something with devotion. Tadaham bhakti paritam asnami. Krishna says, anyone offering me something with faith and love, I eat. People may ask, oh, Krishna is far away in Goloka Vrindavan. How he eats, how he takes. Oh, that is God. Yes, he can take. Therefore, it is said he walks and he doesn't walk. Immediately comes. So, yeah, this contradiction, completely bewildering, completely bewildering. But for the devotees, it is not so, because we understand, yeah, Krishna's inconceivable power. He can be, he can appear at any time he desire and wherever. Just like in the case of the Mahabharata, when the Pandavas with Draupadi, they were exiled in the forest. So Duryodhana in Hastinapur, actually, Durvasa Muni came to visit Duryodhana. And then, of course, Duryodhana served Durvasa Muni nice food stuff along with his 10,000 disciples. 10,000 disciples. And then, of course, when Durvasa Muni pleased, he asked Duryodhana, so I'm very pleased with your service, my dear Duryodhana. Please ask me anything. Please ask me anything, I shall grant it. Duryodhana said, I don't want anything from you. I just want you to bless our brothers, the Pandava in the forest. Please go there, visit them, and bless them. Oh, okay. Durvasa Muni went there to the forest along with his 10,000 disciples, and this famous story. And Draupadi was given a pot by sun god by which she can actually this pot can manifest unlimited number of food as long as she still fasting on that day. I mean, once she takes prasadam, that's it. This pot will not work on that day, will not work anymore. But as long as she remain not taking prasadam, so this pot will produce a lot of food, unlimited food. So because Bhima, how they're gonna feed Bhima? Bhima is a Brikodara, the voracious eater. Yeah. So then Bhima ate. Everybody ate, and then the pot that day will take its break. Will take its break. No longer able to produce anything on that day because Draupadi already eaten. Then Durvasa Muni came, and then he just asked, okay, I came here, we want some prasadam. This is also culture, culture. So when guests come, should offer something to Durvasa Muni along with his 10,000 disciples. So said that, okay, we'll take prasadam along with you, but now we will go to the to Ganges to take bath. Then what happened? Draupadi already ate. Now they're freaked out. And suddenly out of nowhere, Krishna came. Krishna came. You see, Krishna can appear at any time, at any moment, in any place, as he will. So Krishna came because Draupadi prayed that, please, my Lord Krishna, help us. What to do now? Otherwise, this Durvasa Muni will give us a curse. Then Krishna came. You see, Krishna came, and what Krishna asked, please give me some food, I'm hungry. Draupadi said that, oh, actually, we are in great trouble. Now you give us more trouble. You came here, you hungry, we don't have food anymore. And Krishna just look at the pot, and yeah, there is still some speck of prasadam there. And then Krishna ate, and Durvasa Muni, and the whole world actually was full. As soon as Krishna eats that, the whole world becomes full. All the demigods or personalities, all living beings, including Durvasa and his disciples. And then now, because they are waiting for a long time, so Yudhishthira asked Bhima to call upon Durvasa and his disciples. But Durvasa at that time, they suddenly feel that, we are full, we don't want to eat. And Bhima came, and Bhima always holding his gada. And Durvasa Muni saw Bhima with his gada. Durvasa Muni thought that, oh, we are in trouble. Now we are full. If we cannot eat anymore, so better to run. If we don't take prasadam, they will feel insulted, and this Bhima will smash all of us. Then all of them were running. So the point is that Krishna can appear. Krishna can come swifter than the speed of mind. So that's the point of this story. And for the non-devotees, of course, this thing is just simply, for them, it is not real. For them, it is just, what do you call this? This term, mythology. Yeah, for them, it's just mythology. It's something that not real. mythology. So yeah, only the devotees can understand Krishna. Okay, Parasuram Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, how can we understand that he does not walk? Can you please explain?
How we can understand that he doesn't walk? He remain in his place, his abode. That's what Srila Prabhupada mentioned in previous mantra. So he remained in his abode.
But about walking, Prabhu, how do we understand he cannot walk or he does not walk?
Doesn't walk
That
means
is about staying, you are saying.
he doesn't walk means he just stay in one place. Well, of course, that's Srila Prabhupada referring to that. He remains in one place in his abode. He doesn't travel. He doesn't travel. How to understand this? Yeah, by engaging ourselves in devotional service. Yeah, he doesn't walk means he doesn't walk. That means he stay in one place. Yeah, he's not traveling. But at the same time, he walks. He remains in his spiritual abode, but at the same time, he's going everywhere. He's going everywhere. He travels everywhere. When we think, when we compare, when we try to understand Krishna's power using our own experience in the material world, our limited senses will be failed. If I say now I sit here in my upper, so I cannot be at the same time in some other place. But that principle is not applied in Krishna. It's not applied in Krishna. That's how he is inconceivable, and he has unlimited power. The Prabhupada writes in the Brahma-Samhita, again, you see, Srila Prabhupada, he quoted a lot of verses from Brahma-Samhita. It is said that Govinda, the primal Lord, enters everything by his plenary portion. He enters the universe as well as the atoms of the universe. He's outside in his Virat form, and he is within everything as Antaryami. So Antaryami, he witnesses everything that is going on, and he awards us the results of our action as karma phala. So another name of Paramatma is Antaryami. Antaryami means he enters into all his creations. So he enters within everything. Eko pyasau rachayitum jagadanda kotim yachaktirasti jagadanda chayayadan andhantarasta paramanu chantara. So that verse, Brahma-Samhita, that he enters into all creation. Andhantarasta paramanu chayantarasta. Okay, we continue. The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. Everything is manifestation of his different energies, like the heat and light emanating from a fire. And in this way, there is oneness among his diverse energies. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed by minutely the tiny part and parcel of living entities. So yeah, oh yeah, this statement is also interesting here, that he awards us the result of our action as karma. So as the Paramatma, the Antaryami, he seated next to us in our heart, and he witnesses all our activities, and accordingly he awards the result of our activities. In the Bhagavad Gita, what is that verse? Upadrasta anumantacha Yeah, Upadrashta Anumantacha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaram Paramatmeti Chapyukto Dehismin Purushapara. So he's the Upadrashta, means the seer, the supervisor, Upadrashta, and then Anumantacha, the sanction giver. So how do we get the result of our activities? Yes, because Krishna awards that as the Paramatma, he knows what we are doing. So we cannot hide something from God. Often we heard that, yes, God knows everything. Then how he knows everything? Through his energy, his partial incarnation as the Paramatma feature. That's how he knows everything. Otherwise, we may think like in many other religious belief that yes, God is in the heaven, but he's he's cognizant of everything. But how? When you ask how, they don't know the answer. But we know the answer. Yes, God is in his abode. And how he knows everything? Yes, through his partial incarnation, partial plenary portion of the planned portion, the Paramatma feature. That's how he knows everything. So Srila Prabhupada also talks about oneness in diversity. The example given, just like heat and light emanates from fire. That's the end of that mantra. So this example, I just want to elaborate a little bit more. Heat and lights emanating from a fire. So when we see fire, there must be light and also heat, right? So because the heat and light cannot be separated from the fire. So immediately when we feel like some heat or warm sensation, so there must be some fire. So fire, wherever there is fire, there is always light and heat, like the sun. The sun is fire, so the sun has light and also heat. So in that sense, this heat and light is actually one with the fire, because they cannot be separated. They cannot be separated. And mantra number 6, describe the vision of one who can see Krishna everywhere, the Mahabhagavata. Seeing God everywhere, a liberated soul sees Krishna everywhere. So this is the mantra. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmaneva nupashyati. Sarva bhutesu chatmanam tato na vijugupshate. Translation: he who systematically sees. Actually, this word anupashyati means observe. We observe. So when we observe, that means systematically see. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his part and parcel, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. So in the Bhagavad Gita also, where it is mentioned, okay, this is not a question, where it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita about the characteristic of this kind of Mahabhagavata, he can see Krishna everywhere and everything within Krishna. Where does it mention in the Bhagavad Gita? Who hasn't spoken so far? Shravan Kirtan Prabhu would like to contribute on that.
No, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Nagarjun?
It is
I forgot also. It is Swinicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samavarti. The
Vidya
Pandita can
Vinaya
see,
Sampane.
yeah, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Kabhihastino. Swinicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samavarti. So he see everything in relation with the God. But he given respect according to their position, but he see everything as a God. This my understanding.
Thank you. Very nice. Yes. So this is one of the symptoms of the Mahabhagavata, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Kavasti. So he sees that all living beings actually part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna as the Paramatma enters into the heart of every living entities. Therefore, he sees Krishna everywhere. So he doesn't make any distinction between, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane, between the Brahmana, the elephant, Brahmane, Gavi, the cows, Brahmane, Gavi, Hasti, the elephant, Brahmana, cows, elephant, the dogs, and dog eaters. Thank you very much. And yeah, of course, in another place also we see that that verse, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. So Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. Those who can see Krishna everywhere, those who can see me everywhere. Sarvam Chamayi Pashyati, and everything is in me. Yes, everything is in me. Everything is in Krishna. Mata Paratarananya, that verse. Everything is in Krishna. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamayi Pashyati. Tashyaham na pranasyami sachami na pranasyati. So for that person, Krishna is never lost, and for Krishna, that person is never lost. That means they're always in connection. They're always in connection. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is a description of the Mahabhagavata, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. This is also another description. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. A great devotee will always connect everything to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada describe about the Supreme Lord's presence is realized in 3 stages. So of course, this is well known by all the assembled devotees here. First one is that Kanistadikari. Kanistadikari is the lowest stage of realization. Therefore, often Srila Prabhupada mentioned that as soon as possible, we have to raise ourselves in the platform of Madhyama, into the platform of Madhyama. So this is the description of the Kanistadikari. He goes to a place of worship, such as temple, church, or mosque, according to his religious faith, and worship there according to scriptural injunction. Devotees in this stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain. So first of all, the Kanistadikari, Acharyam Evaharaye Pujamya Shradaye Hate Nathat Bhakti Suchanye Susa Bhakta Prakrita. So Prakrita means the Kanista, yeah, Prakrita Bhakta, the neophyte devotees. So Acharyam Evaharaye Pujamya Shrada. So this kind of devotees, the Kanista devotees, they worship the deities with full faith. But their faith is only to the deities. This is the problem. They think that Krishna is only present in the temple. So yeah, that's the symptoms of Kanistadikari. Ujamya Sradayehate, Nathat Bhaktesu Cha Anyesu. And they fail to offer respects to the devotees and other living entities. Nathat Bhaktesu Cha Anyesu Sabhakta Prakritasu. So that kind of devotee is considered to be the lowest the lowest type of devotee, lowest class of the devotees, Kanista, Prakrita Bhakta. So first, they respect only the deities, and they fail to respect the devotees and other living entities. Of course, Krishna will feel offended when his devotees being offended. So Krishna cannot tolerate that. And other living entities also part and parcel of Krishna. So just like this is my body, this is my body, and this is the part of the body. So when I get cuts here, for example, so the whole body will feel the pains. The whole body will feel the pain, not only this little finger. So similarly, when we disrespect other living beings, which is actually part and parcel of Krishna, so Krishna feels pain also. Yeah. It is described in the third canto. Yeah, in the third canto, I think that was in the chapter 3. Yeah, in the chapter 3, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that when Krishna gives punishment to the wrongdoer, so actually Krishna feels pain also. How can a father punish a son? But of course, that's only for the rectification for the jivas. Therefore, Krishna award punishment. But yet, when he awards the punishment, he feels pain. All right, and then they cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, nor they can tell, nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. So their faith here, their faith is very, very weak, and they are not very knowledgeable in Shastra. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves. They like to fault find and quarrels among themselves, considering one type of devotion better than others. Yeah. So, for example, I'm engaged in Harinam Sankirtan, for example. I'm engaged in Harinam Sankirtan. Then I think that my service is the best, because Mahaprabhu is giving, of course, direct order, Prithvi Teyache, Yathana Garadigram, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, this and that. And may quote a lot of verses from the Bhagavatam also, that Nama Sankirtanam Yasa. Therefore, my only service is Harinam Sankirtan, and this is the best service. Any other service is less important. So this is actually Kanista mentality. This is Kanista mentality. But what we should do is that, okay, now I'm engaged in Harinam Sankirtan, the Nagar Sankirtan. And when I go to the temple, when I see the pujari in the temple doing worship, I should be, very, very jubilant and giving a lot of credits, giving a lot of appreciation. This should be our mentality, not okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you're not audible.
Yeah, okay, give me 1 minute. Oh, Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know, somehow this Wi-Fi not working anymore. Just a second, give me. I need to connect this computer, otherwise I cannot share my screen. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Where are we? In the Madhyama. So this is the symptoms of the Madhyama Adhikari. Those devotees observe the distinction between 4 categories of being: the Supreme Lord, the devotees, the innocent, and the atheists. Then how the Madhyama Adhikari deals with these 4 living beings, including the Lord. So first, to Krishna, he adores the Lord, considering him the object of love. This is called prema. Yeah, prema. He consider his relationship with the Lord is in prema. Consider the Lord to be the topmost object of his love, prema. And then to the devotees, maitri. Maitri means he makes friendship. What is mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, he makes friends with those who are in devotional service. And then for the, what is the third one? The innocents who have no knowledge of the Lord, he is kripa. Kripa means giving mercy. So he tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the heart of the innocents. And then the last one is that to the atheists, how the Madhyama Adhikari behaves, upeksha. Upeksha means he avoids. Yeah? He avoids the atheists who deride the very name of the Lord. So this is Madhyama Adhikari. First, he knows that Krishna is the topmost object of love. So that's how his relationship with the Lord. He worships the Lord with love and devotion. And to the devotees, he makes friendship, maitra, karuna, and then karuna or kripa, karuna, kripa. He gives mercy to the innocents, those who doesn't have knowledge of the Lord. And then to the atheist, to the blasphemer, to the non-believers, he avoids upeksha. And then the topmost, the Mahabhagavata, is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between an atheist and a theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord, although they are engaged in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities in their previous life. So this is the characteristic of Mahabhagavata, the Uttama Adhikari. He sees everybody as part and parcel of Krishna, and therefore normally the Uttama Adhikari, they feel reluctant to preach. They feel reluctant to preach because they see that everybody is devotee. After all, everybody is Krishna's part and parcel, Krishna's son. Everybody is engaged in Krishna service. Only me not engaged in Krishna service. That's the mentality of the Mahabhagavata, the Uttama Adhikari. And what about those who are in Maya, for example? Those who are in Maya, how the Mahabhagavata devotee sees that person engaged in Krishna service? Yes, after all, Maya is Krishna's energy. Although she is the Bahiranga Sakti of the Lord, still he is engaged in Krishna's energy. Yes, he's serving Lord by force. Srila Prabhupada writes in this section, this purport, he gives the example just like a prisoner. So everybody in the state actually serving the government, obey the government, right? But what about those who are in the jail? Yes, they are also obeying the government by force. By force. That's Srila Prabhupada's analogy. And Srila Prabhupada continues, it is clearly mentioned in the 6th mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharya, the perfected teachers. Anupashyati is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow. Yeah, like Rupa Anuga, this Anudinam Kalosai, what it means to see, or to means that one should not see things as he does with naked eye, but should follow the previous acharyas. Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta. This is how we see. We see by following the footsteps of the acharya, we see through the sastra. This is called sastra chaksu. So if we try to analyze something, especially spiritual subject matter, through this blind, well, not blind, but limited material eyes, so we will be definitely fail. We'll be definitely fail. Just like Srila Prabhupada, many times he was challenged. Many times he was challenged. One time he was challenged by one lady when Srila Prabhupada was giving a class. Can you show me God? This lady said, can you show me God? Of course, Srila Prabhupada just ignored it. And then again, she asked, even she stood up and raised her hand and loudly shouting at Srila Prabhupada, if God really exists, can you show me God? Prabhupada said that, what is your qualification to see God? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanina. Srila Prabhupada immediately quoted that verse. Yeah. Unless our eyes is smeared by the ointment of love, we cannot see God. Premanjana. Cannot. Without this Premanjana, without the salve of love, we cannot see Krishna. But those who for the non-believers, of course, Krishna, in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if we study scrutinizedly, that actually we can feel Krishna's presence, we can see Krishna through his external potency, like what is that? Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasi suryayo. So the taste of water is Krishna. Prabhasmi sasi suryayo. The light of the sun and moon is Krishna. And then what is that? Punya gandha prithivyangsha. The natural smell of the earth is Krishna. Balam balavatam chaham. And the power of a powerful man, the prowess of a powerful man is also Krishna. Balam balavatam chaha, kamaraga vivarjitaha, dharma virodo bhutesu kamoasmi. And sex, according to scriptural injunction, is also Krishna. So we can see Krishna actually through the expansion of his external energy. Yeah. And for the non-believer, of course, Krishna comes as death at the end of his life. Krishna comes as death. Mrityu sarva harashaham, Krishna says. Mrityu sarva harashaham. I come as death for non-believers, because the non-believers said that, oh, I can live eternally. There is no God in control. Yeah. Demoniac mentality. Yeah. So we see everything should be seen according to the Shastra. Actually, the Shastra is actually complete. This knowledge is complete. The Vedic knowledge is complete. complete because it emanates from Krishna. Therefore, Vedic knowledge is called Apaurushaya. Remember, Apaurushaya means this Vedic knowledge is not spoken by conditioned soul. It is spoken directly by the Lord, who is beyond this material engagement. He comes here from the spiritual world and speak directly to Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. Okay, it's almost 8 o'clock. Let me finish just up to this 6th mantra. Yeah, this is the last slide for today's discussion. It has no discrimination. Who is devotee? Who is non-devotee? Who is atheist or theist? Or who is in this way, he sees everyone the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and everyone is engaged. One who is suffering, he also engaged, because just like a prisoner, the prisoner is also serving the government. Oh yeah, this is the one that I mentioned earlier. By force. The prisoner is serving the government by force. Therefore, one who is the Mahabhagavata says, oh, actually, it is not obeying the prisoners. They are obeying the government, although by force, but they are obeying. So, yeah, this is the vision of the Mahabhagavata. The devotees of the Lord, they see everything in relation with Krishna. So the first mantra mentioned about the Ishavasya, everything belong and owned by Krishna, by God. Everything is controlled by God. And the Mahabhagavata can see this clearly, understand clearly that yeah, everything is owned by Krishna. Everything emanates from Krishna. Yeah, aham sarvasya prabhava, janmadhyasya yataha. Everything comes from Krishna. Then we have nothing. Everything, everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. So for a Mahabhagavata, he doesn't hate anything or anyone, because he doesn't hate anyone because everybody is Krishna's son. He doesn't hate anything because everything emanates from Krishna. Everything is Krishna's expansion, Krishna's energy. And of course, for the materialistic people, the non-devotees, they will certainly fail to understand Krishna in all respects. They will fail to understand that Krishna's inconceivable potency, because they don't have love for Krishna. Because just like if you have very close friends, for example, if you have very close friend, so he will tell you everything about himself, all his secret, he will share to you. Why? Because your relationship is so close. There is loving exchange here. So you trust that person. So similarly, Krishna also like that. When we have close relationship with Krishna, on the base of bhakti, love for him, so he will disclose himself. Bhakto sime sakacheti rahashyam. Rahasya means secret. Rahasya means very, very confidential. So generally, we don't share our secret to random people. Only to those whom we love, who have very close relationship with us, then we share our secret. For example, like the PIN number of your ATM. You don't share it to everybody because it is secret. So only to your wife or your son, or even your very close friends. Sometimes you share, okay, you take the money, go to ATM, take the money, like this, because you trust that person. Why trust? Because you love that person. Trust also based on love. If there's no love, there's no trust. Yeah, Bhakto Sime Sakacheti. Krishna's devotees. Krishna's friends. Yeah. All right, we stop here in mantra number 6, and then we continue next week. We have 3 minutes. Were there any questions or comments before we stop? There is in the chat here. Okay. Can hear either. Yeah, I was disconnected. Okay, thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhya, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo.